Dear students, now we are going to discuss the search for genetic material. Okay, so even though nucleus as a nuclein means nucleic acid actually, nucleic acid present inside the nucleus was identified by Frederick Mischer. So this word was coined by Mischer. Frederick Mischer. And laws of inheritance or principles of inheritance. By Mendel. These two events or discoveries happened simultaneously. Even though these two happened simultaneously, they failed to answer what was that genetic material. Okay, so failed to explain the nature of genetic material. It was enigma, unknown one, but present. Putative genetic material, present, but there was no experimental evidence. There was no demonstration. And it took a lot of time to explain the chemistry of that genetic material. Nucleic acid identified by Mischer, and factor, a word coined for genetic material, but they failed to explain the physical nature, chemical nature of that. So in 1926, the quest, zeal, or objective to determine the nature of genetic material concerned with the mechanism of inheritance. So the quest to determine the genetic nature or mechanism of inheritance was initiated. Okay, so they started working on how to understand a genetic material concerned with inheritance. Okay, so it was initiated during 1926. So the quest to determine the mechanism of genetic inheritance was initiated. So actually, research work done by all these people, who were they, one by one, particularly Mendel. laws of inheritance, and Mischur also some extent. So Mendel proposed laws of inheritance. We'll study laws of inheritance within genetics, principles of inheritance, law of dominance, law of purity of gametes, law of independent assortment. We'll see that one under the heading genetics. So Mendel proposed principles of inheritance. Next, Sutton and Boveri. Sutton and Boveri. Next, Thomas Hunt Morgan. Simply I'm taking T.H. Thomas Hunt Morgan. Thomas Hunt Morgan. Okay. So the research work done by these people and a certain number of other scientists also. The quest for identification of genetic material gradually narrowed. So the research work narrowed towards a molecular level. So actually in 1926, the quest for genetic material narrowed towards a molecular level actually. Molecular level. Use that statement also. So the quest for identification of a genetic material which is able to decide inheritance narrowed towards molecular level. Molecular level. Molecular level means what type of molecule was involved. Chemically, what was that molecule? So because of a research work done by Mendel, particularly Sutton, Boveri, Morgan, okay, the quest for molecular level of genetic inheritance narrowed to chromosome. Chromosome. What is this narrowed? Narrowed means approaching the answer. Narrow means approaching, almost reaching. Approaching the answer. What is that answer? That answer was against a question. What? Actually, the genetic material. Okay. So according to Mendel, a factor. What was that factor? A genetic material. What was that genetic material? Unknown by those people. So such a research work reached a molecular level in 1926. And because of work done by these people, the research work narrowed towards chromosome. Means the chromosome is able to decide are able to regulate inheritance. Okay, so narrowed means approaching the answer. What was that answer? Chromosome. Actually, chromosome is a physical basis of inheritance. It is not chemical basis. What was that chemical? So even though the research work of these people, the answer for actually what was the genetic material narrowed towards, resulted in, culminated in chromosome only, but not up to molecular level. What was that molecule? Is it a protein? Is it an enzyme? Is it RNA molecule? Is it a DNA molecule? What was that molecule? They don't know. What was that factor? But the research work approached towards answering that question, that was a chromosome, according to these people. Okay, right? But they failed to answer chemically what was that genetic material. Okay, right? So first of all, after completion of this one, in 1928, transforming principle. By Griffith. Okay, so he started working on a question that was, what was the material, genetic material actual? Okay, so 1928, transforming principle by Griffith. Okay, so that was actually search for genetic material. What was that genetic material? Chemically, what was that? Okay, so now we are going to look into what is that transforming principle. Okay, is it clear? Now, okay, so under the heading bacteria, within bacteria, we studied methods of reproduction. Methods of reproduction in bacteria. What about methods of reproduction in bacteria? Sexual reproductive methods. Sexual reproduction in bacteria. 1. Transformation. Second one, conjugation. Third one, transduction. These are the 3 sexual reproductive methods present in bacteria. So take first one, transformation. Okay, so Griffith transforming principle was based on transformation, one of the sexual reproductive methods. Okay, so he conducted a transforming experiment in bacteria. What about that bacteria? It is Streptococcus. Streptococcus pneumoniae. Streptococcus pneumoniae. And it is also called as a Diplococcus. Diplococcus pneumoniae. Both are correct. Streptococcus pneumoniae and Diplococcus. Okay. So with the help of sexual reproduction in Streptococcus pneumoniae, he observed a transformation. Transformation means change here. Some change, whatever the change, you will see that one. There is a change in phenotype, morphological change, transformation in the morphology. Okay. So he selected a Streptococcus pneumoniae for his experiments. And what he did. Okay. So now take a Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay, so he cultured Streptococcus pneumoniae on the culture medium. So this is a culture medium, for example. Culture medium. He transferred some inoculum starter, some inoculum of pneumonia, Streptococcus pneumonia onto the culture medium. Okay, so after culturing of a culture medium, pneumonia, after culturing pneumonia, Streptococcus pneumoniae, on the culture medium, he identified two types of colonies. So here, colony of bacterial cells. Colony of bacterial cells. In that colony, he identified two types of strains. So total number of strains, he identified two strains of bacteria. Means two variants, two strains of bacteria. What are they? Here I'm taking Diplococcus. 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 Okay. The difference between these two is this blue color. Okay. So this one is mucus. Mucus layer. A gummy material. Mucus. That is with polysaccharides. Polysaccharides. Made up of polysaccharides. And here, this type of strain is without mucus, no mucus. Okay, so this strain is called as a smooth or shiny. Smooth or shiny. Shiny strain or smooth one. And this one is rough one, rough strain. Reason, no mucus layer. So now what about the characteristics of a smooth one, rough one? So what are the strains? Again, I'm taking those two here. First one, S strain or strain, smooth, rough. Okay, so, and this bacterium, this strain is able to cause, it can cause, it is a causative agent of able to cause pneumonia. Able to cause a pneumonia. So able to cause pneumonia means it is virulent. Virulent or virulent strain. Virulent strain. Okay, so this is a pathogen. You can say pathogen also. Able to cause disease. Pathogenicity. Okay, pathogenicity. What is a pathogenicity? Ability to cause disease. Or virulency. We can use this word also. Pathogenicity. So A strain is able to cause pneumonia. And it is called as a virulent strain. And what about the R strain? non-pathogenic, 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 not able to cause pneumonia. Okay, so no pneumonia. Not harmful. And this one is called as a virulent strain, non-pathogen. Okay, so he selected a S strain, R strain to study transformation. Okay, is it clear? Now, what about the experiment he conducted with the help of S strain and R strain? Okay. So what about Griffith's experiment? So step one, first step. Okay. Live S strain injected into mice. Injected into mice. S strain injected into mice. Mouse singular, mice plural, rats. Okay, so what happened to mice? Dead or died. And in that dead body, what he traced out? Live S strain bacterial cells. Live S strain bacteria. So mice was died. Rats died means definitely because of pneumonia. They died of pneumonia because of reason is pneumonia. Next, live R strain injected into mice. So what about mice? Live mice. Okay, so no rat was died. Reason R strain is not able to cause a pneumonia. Next, third, heat killed. Heat killed. Yes, strain. Heat killed. Yes, strain. Heat killed. Yes, strain. Heat killed. Yes, strain components. Not the live bacterial cell. Heat kill means dead. Injected into mice. Okay, so what about mice live? Reason, heat-killed components are not able to cause pneumonia. So that's why mice survived. And fourth one, live or strain. Live or strain along with heat-killed strain components. Okay, these together, live or strain bacterial cells, dead components of strain cells together injected into mice. So what about mice died? And in that dead body, rat dead body, and what he traced out? He traced out the presence of live strain bacterial cells. Go back. Out of these two, which one was in live condition, living condition, or? But what about dead? And what he traced out in the dead body of a rat? Live strain. But in that injection, there was no live strain. What happened here? Okay. So what about the explanation given by Griffith? So in the heat-killed components, a chemical was present. So separately I'm taking heat-killed strain components plus live or strain gives rise live strain. So live R converted into live S. Okay, so what about the explanation given by Griffith? Genetic material component present in the heat-killed components of S strain naturally in the experiment injected into R live. What was that? A genetic material. It was a genetic material. According to his knowledge, it was a chemical component. That was a genetic material. So this genetic material entered into R live strain. Means a gene that entered into R live, converted R live into S live strain. So here R strain is physically changed or not? Change in the physical form of the bacteria. So what about the physical form of the bacteria? So this one is a R strain basically. R strain or not? Okay. So in the fourth experiment, this R strain changed into, observe it carefully. So far, no change. R strain. But what happened? R is converted to S. So change in the physical form or not? So this one is R strain, rough one. So here physically changed or not? Here only red color is visible. Here red and blue also. So there is a change. There was a change in the physical appearance. Phenotype changed or not? So change in physical form. Form of the bacteria changed or not? Physical form. Phenotype change. Physically changed or not? Reason? Change in the genotype because of the genetic material. And what about the textbook statement, the given statement, what he observed in transformation? Change in the form or phenotypic character, physical form of the bacteria. R strain convert into S because of genetic material. Because of genetic material. What was that genetic material? Chemically, what was that? He failed to explain. But overall, he observed a transformation of R bacteria into S bacteria. R into S. So R is genetically changed. Because of change in the genotype, there was a change in the phenotype of that organism. But the question was, they asked, means contemporary scientists, they asked Griffith, what about chemistry, physically, chemically, what was that? He explained just genetic material. He said that I'm not aware of that one. I don't know what was that chemically, what was that? So Griffith transformation principle was biochemically failed. Biochemically failed means he failed to explain what was that chemical. Now, actually, we are studying molecular basis of inheritance or not. In 1926, the quest to determine or for determining the mechanism of inheritance approach towards molecular level. They questioned what was that molecule chemically. He failed to explain the chemistry of that one. So, Griffith transformation principle was chemically failed, biochemically failed. He failed to provide a chemical evidence. What was that chemical? So this principle was biochemically failed. But he approached a so-called genetic material to answer that genetic material, but chemically failed. Now the question is, we have to discuss what is the question. R strain convert into S strain because of genetic recombination or not? A gene coming from or some part of the DNA coming from heat killed S strain entered into R. Because of that gene or a factor, R was changed into S. So that gene codes for formation of a mucus layer, a polysaccharide coat. So R is converted into S means that gene codes for formation of a mucus layer. A virulent bacterial cell convert into virulent bacterial cell. See here, live R was a virulent, but convert into virulent S strain. So physically change or not? R into S. R into S. Simply R into S. For example, capital R changed into capital S, for example. Physically changed or not? Reason? Entry of a genetic part means some part of genetic material into R strain. Okay.